All right, here's a good problem, and it really helps you become efficient, because many people can do this problem, but if it takes you like 3, 4, 5 minutes, that's too long. So we have these given pair of equations, A and B are constants. The graph of this pair of equations, the xy plane, is a pair of perpendicular lines with the following equations also represents pair of perpendicular lines. So we have to know that perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. This is a good little shortcut for the SAT. We can go from standard form to slope-intercept form easily. And perpendicular lines, like I said, have opposite reciprocal slopes, but that also entails that the slopes multiply to -1. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be efficient. If I pick A equal to -7 and B equal to 5, doesn't that fit the condition? Because then I get, right, I get -7x plus 5y is 1. So opposite A over B is 7 over 5. So that fits the condition, right? So I'm going to go one by one until the slopes multiply to -1. So here I have -10, right, over 7, okay? Then I have times opposite A, so opposite A, right, over opposite A over B. So my B in this case is just -2B, right? That sounds kind of weird, but so that's to multiply to -1, not 1. It can't be that one. Let's try option B. So opposite A, right, -10 over 7, right? And I'm going to multiply that by opposite A over B. So it's going to be 2B in this case, right? So it has to be choice B. You see that? So that's a kind of, I haven't seen that approach. I think that's a good approach for those type of problems. Let's just do the next ones just to make sure. So -10 over 7, right, times opposite A. So it's going to be -2A over B in this case. So that's just my B, right? They're just, A and B are just placeholders for the coefficients, right, of x and y. And let's try this one. So opposite A over B, right? Opposite A over B, in this case, it's going to be -7, right? And then times opposite A over B, okay? Because I'm doing choice D. So as you can see, the only one that gives me -1 is this choice. So perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes that multiply to -1, okay? And it's really good to know that shortcut. That it's not that hard. I mean, you should see it for yourself, right? If ax plus by is c, then, we could easily subtract ax from both sides, right? So I get -ax plus c, then I divide both sides by b. So we don't get anything profound here, but it's good to know this little shortcut, right? So please memorize that. Good job.